Welcome to the Pattern Recognizer. Most people are running programs they never chose. Today we expose one of those patterns, see exactly how it works, and discover the precise shift that can set you free. Let's begin. Listen. A neighbor returns your drill with the blade dulled. Your sister offers a half apology that leaves the air tense. A client delays payment with a promise that never lands. These small unpaid exchanges are not small. They reroute your attention, your energy, and eventually your wallet. Behind that quiet friction is a knot that tightens over years until opportunities bleed away into polite obligations and invisible friction. If you care about abundance, intimacy, or creative momentum, this matters more than you think. It matters to your bank balance and to the tone of your morning. Name the pattern, the reciprocity knot, not the ledger of debt on a spreadsheet, not plain guilt, and not mere habit. It's a stacked architecture of owed energies, favors unpaid, gratitude withheld, promises half kept, moral expectations inherited from family lines. These unpaid reciprocities accumulate as tension like knots tied around the current of your life. One knot then attracts matching knots. Scarcity breeds conditional giving, conditional receiving, and a tense, contracted heart. That's the pattern. That's the mechanism. First, the psychological mechanism. The knot is composed of familiar hooks, guilt that functions as a leash, conditional worth that says you earn love by repaying, and family repayment vows. Stories like we pull our weight or we never owe that actually encode hidden penalties. Over time, these hooks become neural grooves. You choose options that clear the ledger rather than options that expand your life. You say yes when you want to say no. You undercharge to avoid the story of owing. You hold gratitude back because you fear the social debt it creates. The brain learns the pattern as the safe route, so your habits follow it automatically. That automaticity is what makes the knot dangerous. It's invisible inside your choices. Now the esoteric mechanism, the invisible architecture that keeps the knot resonant across generations. Imagine sacred geometry, feedback loops and nodes where energy circles back on itself. A repayment vow is a node. A withheld thank you is a looping edge. Numerologically, certain sequences recur, 3s and 9s of incomplete cycles, patterns that keep the field locked into a lower frequency. Each unpaid exchange is a tiny echo that reinforces the loop, and those echoes align with ancestral signatures. A grandmother's rule about money, an uncle's story about who deserves success, a culture's need equation linking charity to penance. These are not moral judgments, they're energetic traps. They attract matching conditions because life attracts like low flow begets more low flow. Reframe with a metaphor. Picture a canal that once fed a thriving town. Over years, branches of silt and debris gather where people leave offerings half buried, favors, apologies, obligations. The water slows, becomes muddy, then finds new channels that avoid the town entirely. Untie the knot and you clear the sluice. Water returns. Ships can anchor again. Fields irrigate. Your life is the town. Those unpaid exchanges are silt. When you engage with the knot correctly, you don't punish anyone. You clear the channel so current can move again. Feel that image. The current is possible, and it wants you to be an architect of flow, not a passive debtor. Now the high-impact daily shift, a 2-minute morning micro-write to begin untying the reciprocity knot. 3 parts, precise language, repeatable. Part 1. Intention, 30 seconds. Stand, breathe twice, and say quietly to yourself, I claim right flow today. I am not a ledger. I choose clear exchange. Mean it. This primes the nervous system to prefer flow over accounting. Part 2. Symbolic return, 60 seconds. Take a small object, a coin, a leaf, a folded note, and hold it in both hands. Visualize one owed thing, a favor, a withheld thanks, a half apology. Speak this phrase aloud, naming it plainly. I return what is owed between us. I release your debt. I release my hold. Then place the object down with intention, not to demand reciprocation, but to signal closure. Part 3. Energetic closure, 30 seconds. Place your right hand over your heart and say, closed, flow open. Breathe out as if sending the knot downstream. These steps combine a cognitive reframe, a symbolic act that interrupts the neural groove, and a somatic seal that signals closure to your body. Do it for 2 minutes each morning. Practical examples and troubleshooting. Money, a client delays payment. Use the micro-write privately, then follow with a clear, ethical boundary. I can accept this arrangement if we set a date. The right shifts your felt sense so your boundary is calm, not reactive. Relationship. A sibling owes an apology. The right lets you release the unpaid ledger so you can choose whether to speak, forgive, or step back from obligation without collapsing your self-value. Creative block. You keep trading your work for exposure. The right rewires the automatic I'll pay my worth later story, and you begin to price and protect your current. If the ritual surfaces strong emotion, pair it with journaling or a trusted listener. This is about integrity, not manipulation. The intent is closure, not coercion. Recap. The reciprocity knot is an invisible tangle of unpaid exchanges that binds your choices. Psychologically, it's guilt and conditional worth. Esoterically, it's looping notes and ancestral signatures. The daily 2-minute micro-write, intention, symbolic return, energetic closure, interrupts the groove and restores current. One shift changes everything. If you want diagrams of the knot, the ritual scripts, and deeper integration practices, visit my pattern library. There you'll find a full chapter, ritual diagrams, and stepwise integration exercises that expand this 2-minute practice into a sustainable reset. The pattern is the prism. Awareness is the key. That is the pattern. That is the mechanism. And that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your life, explore my complete library at Desmarques.com.